Okay, I thought I'd bring you along for the ride. We're going to be putting on some teak oil onto this outside swinging chair. So let me show you how we do it. Now here's a good tip for you guys. You see blow out your brush. It gets the little hairs out of it to start, especially these cheaper chisel brushes. But any of your brushes, work them first. If you're going to be applying any oils or anything where hairs matter, all right? So right now, this has already been sanded and done up by the customer himself. He's a really good builder. But this is, he's done all the stripping and the prep sanding, and I went back over it with 220, and this is where we are now. So what you want to do is cut in all these hard areas. We're going to be putting on a lot of coats on this thing. And you don't want to waste the finish. So we don't do the bottoms first, right? Now this is our Dayley Seafin Teak Oil, right? It's one of the best I have used. There's a lot of them out there. This one is probably the best I've ever used, and I've used a few. Now you notice where I'm putting this on real heavy, and you can see it soaking up down in there like that. These are the joints you really want, right? Now this stuff is not going to dry right away. We're going to be putting on a couple coats while it's even still wet. So I don't have to get every spot with this brush. As you can see how fast we're going, right? This is how fast I think you should go. And I'm not just doing this for TV. As I say, how do I walk all the way around, you know, change your position a little. Shouldn't have. Okay. Cut in all these. All right. So now that you got all your hard spots done up, now that'll save you a lot of time trying to force the oil up into areas where it can't go. All right. So that's cut in. Now you can throw that little sucker away. Set it aside, basically. All right. Now we've blown this whole thing off, hand tacked it off. All right. And get your rag good and wet, you see? See where you can just rub it in, right? This coat is the one that really soaks up the most and is probably the most important for you because you want it to be able to stay kind of wet, you know? You can see how I push this rag in between the things. I'm not trying to do this with a brush, you know? I'm running it up and down. I usually used to do this with just bare hands. Never used gloves, but I love the feel of it. But not supposed to. So either are you. If I can't do it, you can't do it. That's kind of the game, right? See? And you don't have to go with the grain, you know. I'm doing it just for show's sakes. And you want a good absorbent rag when you're doing this kind of stuff. Here, I'll turn this around now. I mean, geez, you can't see nothing. Here. All right. See, I typically don't mind the extra dripping in that. You can go overboard with applying, you know, too much down in these cracks and such. You know, that's kind of a waste right at the start. But your first initial hit, like you saw, where it soaks it all down in there, that's one of its most important times. The only reason I say you don't need to keep going is that there's little voids down in here. These are all loose, made to expand and contract. And you'll just sit there forever. But your next and more coats will keep sealing up more and more and more. So anyway, here you go. Okay. Look at that, folks. And nothing to it when you know how to do it. And I'm going to teach you how to do it. And there's really going to be no big wipe off. I notice I don't have a wipe off rag. I like to use like old socks for these oil projects because they hold so much and they're compact. They're not loose big rags with big sharp corners everywhere. They usually work like a good sponge. And I'll use this one again on the next coat actually, because before this one really dries, like I won't let it dry all the way tonight. I'll come back out here and hit it again and let it keep, while it's still a little on the soft side, deep inside, it tries to absorb once more, and then it's thicker, see? And it doesn't just wash off. It soaks in as a thicker surface, and it won't soak up as much. Each time I put this on, it'll be less and less and less. Now, in between these cracks and in this zones here, that's really where you want to work. Those are the first places that these finishes fail. So if you concentrate on those and not worry so much about how much finish you're using, you know, more that you can just let it soak in. I like to just use little splashes at a time because I know how far this will go after a certain bit. It's just not taken up anymore. But and I hate to waste it. I'll be able to use this tonight, but I won't pour this back. You don't ever want to put your stuff back in your can. And this isn't a cheap oil. This is one of your high quality oils. I guess probably like $30 a quart or something. You know, dang near 100 a gallon. So, but it's worth it. It dries. Some of these oils don't really dry that well. Even the same teak oils aren't the same. This is one you can use on your boat while it's at sea. Underway, you can actually finish your boat underway. Yeah, that's a cool thing. And it's okay for bright work. If you know what bright work is, that's your hardware, right? All your metal stuff, it's on your boat, your brass and things like that. This Dayley's oil will harden up on it, where a lot of them don't. They won't recommend that. And we would always like to say, how do you keep it off of it? Right? And it wears away. This oil doesn't chip off. Doesn't chip, doesn't peel. If it's done properly, you just keep adding more coats as the years go on. And I'd recommend every couple years really just going outside and giving it a light 320 sand or a 400 or something, and then hitting it again, maybe even 2 coats in the same day. And you'll be surprised at how many years it lasts. Okay, so there. All right, now you can see how you don't really have to even wipe it off, right? I mean, geez. Now I'm going to go one more time after I'm going to take the air hose and I'm going to blow out all these little spots like this, so we don't get runs and surprises anywhere. And while it's in this stage now, I'm going to flip it over and do the other side, because what's going to happen now is you'll see the drips that came off of this one, right? They'll drip back into the top, see? All right? So you can see how this is all going to be, right? So now we'll finish the underside, right? So that's how you do that. And it's going to be beautiful. Beautiful. Right. Cut in your junk. Around these bolts and stuff, it's real good to wet them up. Let them, you can see how they deteriorate a little bit in the weather. The metal doesn't expand like this wood does, and it lets moisture in. Okay, so anyway, that's cut. We'll be doing it again. You don't have to get too obsessive, but you want to be a perfectionist, you might as well, especially if you're doing it for somebody else or for yourself. You know, yeah, just rub it on. See how much easier it is than trying to brush it? I know a lot of guys want to use the little brush for everything, and it's just not necessary. I mean, you're thinking you're getting away with no brush marks and all that, and really you're just causing yourself some frustrations. So there you go. No more frustrations around here. Put it on, move on. Thanks for watching, folks. Hope you're learning something. Yeah, you feel the need, you want to see it get completed. Stick around. we're going to do more coats. So the next we're going to be doing is I'll be putting again, I'll do the same thing without sanding tonight. Maybe even in 4 hours, 5 hours. I'll see when it really is tacked up and dang near dry. Usually you wait about 24 hours between coats. But this is my seal coat, and it thickens up. When this stuff gets soaked in, it's going to create, get a little thicker. And then I'll re-wet it. When I re-wet it, it will again go right back. But I don't have to cut it so hard. I'll just cut the base marks, right? Because I don't want to wash it back off. I just want to recoat it. That's a good time to hit all your other high spots. All right, there you go. Wham. I know. Yeah, I like to use these old socks. Work really well. They don't hang up much, and it gives new life. Even my older rags, because you throw these away, and you guys work with this stuff. You lay your dang rags out on the sun or stuff like that, because it'll self-combust. It'll light on fire on itself. Okay, so that's your dang pro advice. Not even tip. Just do it. Let them dry thoroughly. If you think you're going to use it again, like I'm going to use this one again, I'm going to seal it up so it can't evaporate. And then you see how it's staying wet just a little longer already than when I first even wiped it on. Look at how fast I'm putting it on again. I'm not, I don't have to go in such detail, but look at it re-wet, real pretty. All right. And we go, how many times do you coat them? Say 14. And I'd usually put on 7 coats that sanded in between, but I would put on 2 coats for every one, as you would count it, to fully dry and harden and wait. So it gave it a week. So yeah, if you guys stick around, you may want to hit pause. No, just kidding. Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it. We won't show you every coat, Maybe one more. How about that? We'll sand this up, give you the final coat or something like that. You can lay me down in the comments of how long do you think I should make these videos, right? I'm doing this for you, I don't want you bored. I'm just using up what's in my tub now. This is really done to me. Right? And look, there's no streaking. You can't see anything there, right? No drips anywhere, right? My rag ain't freaking super crazy runny, but just enough to wet it. You guys keep making a mountain out of a molehill, and there's no need. This is easy stuff. Kids can help. My son used to help. Still does actually now, but he used to help when he was really little. This was the oil. I didn't even make him wear gloves, I don't think. Oh yeah, he did. I didn't. I just started. Dermatologists say. So there you go, guys. Hope you learned something. And it turned out really pretty. Ready to go back under the tree? Not yet. This is your seal coat. So you guys think you do it once and it'll be gone next year. So you put on 4 coats. I've had things go 4 or 5 years. So and then it's easy to apply. I mean, what did that take us? A few minutes, So, well, that's how we oil up your bench for you. So I hope you learned something. And if you want to see it keep going, I'll probably keep making a longer video, and I'll put it right there and link you right to it. But you keep doing it this way, repeat it, sand it little 320, coat it again like that. Do that 4 or 5 times. You're going to have a beautiful piece. It'll look like a nice varnished one. And if you stick around, I'll show you how it's done. Thanks for watching. We'll see you.